Welcome back, awesome action toy fans and subscribers. Today I'm looking at Fortnite figure Fade. He looks amazing. That head sculpt is fantastic. One of the best ones I've seen in Fortnite. And that's really the reason why I picked him up. I think he looks so good. So let me turn the camera around. We'll take a closer look at this figure and see what he's like. Let's get into it. So here he is. You see I've actually got two of them. One with a jacket, one without a jacket. One with the arm pads, shoulder pads. The other without the arm pads, shoulder pads. Is just like a slot there where they went. And they both have slightly different colouring on the shoes. This is lighter, this is darker. Maybe they are, or one of them or both of them are factory rejects, but I'm not complaining because I've got two great figures. If I look at the faces, they are the same. The eyes are painted differently. The eyes, in fact, I'm going to take that back. They are not the same. There is a slight difference. This one has a bigger nose. You can see that on camera. And a slightly bigger chin, protruding chin, but they are close enough. And you see he's also missing the eyeliner that this guy has. Fantastic head sculpt. You know, you're into your sort of mythic Japanese stuff or your ninja stuff, you know, and you're into 1/18 scale, you need to pick up one of these when they become widely available. I'm not sure if they're released yet on the general market, but I believe they'll be hitting the shelves, particularly in the US, probably soonish. Here in China, they're not in the shops, but occasionally you can pick up loose stuff on Taobao like I tend to do with these two. I might get one or two more, well not that many, maybe one more for another head, though in the future I will be making my own casts and my own molds and casting. Also looking, this one here, his horns aren't straight compared to this guy's. This one is slightly lower, but minor differences. Okay, so another thing I'm going to do is I've got two as well, so I'm going to take off this hood, see what the head's like underneath. I mean, I'm going to rip some plastic or rubber, because normally they're glued into the actual skull. Now, I do have ears, which is nice. How's that attached? Well, it's quite hard this time. Okay, you see there, we can see where it's attaching to the back. Okay, coming off. So, as you can see, there is a hole in the back of his head. So I have to smooth that off, fill in the hole, and then smooth it off again. And I've got this great head to use. You know, it's no detail, but I'm happy there are ears, because that would have been not as good if there weren't ears on there. But he looks fantastic. Okay, so let's have a look at the jacketed version one first, and then I'll do articulation on the non-jacketed, because that'll be a more accurate indication. Looks really nice. The jacket is pretty cool. The colouring is good. I just wish there were slits on the side of the jacket, because that's going to really hinder his articulation. Likewise with the shoulders here and his pads there, he's going to suffer. So look, speaking of articulation, let's have a look on this one first. So you can look left and right. He has a small down and a pretty good up. Shoulders go all the way around. He gets a 90 degrees, is that 180 in total? He gets a 180. This guy, I will surprise you anywhere near that, but let's have a look. Well, he does get close. Almost the same, slightly lower because the padding. Or maybe he can. Yeah, slightly lower because the padding on his shoulders and arms. This guy's just a tad better. Bicep bend is where Jazwares normally fall down. And this guy's getting not even 90. So if you do want to keep this body, I'll be tempted to shave part of the forearm and bicep down, so you get a great articulation. Now, Jazwares trunk's normally good. Look at that, that's a fantastic forwards, but you get this little hole at the back. The backwards, oops, doesn't want to stay there. It just wants to spring forwards again. Side is not great, nor is the other side, but he can turn. And his waist has a turn. Ah, interesting. This is a rubber part underneath. So if you take it apart, it just hides where his connection is. That's interesting. Legs, he can get full splits. This guy won't because of his coat. Forwards is pretty good. Backwards is minimal. Then it starts going to the side. There's a thigh twist. Double kneecap. Not as tight as it could have been because his legs aren't that big. There is no boot. No, there's no boot turn, unfortunately. But his feet do swivel outwards. Or inwards and outwards, I should say. And here's tippy toe. Let's have a look. Pretty damn good. Dorsiflexation, not so much because he's got these big tongues on his shoes. But still better than I was expecting, to be fair. This is a great looking figure. You know, the body itself is pretty good. The shoes you could customize and use on other figures, so they're pretty cool. But that head sculpt is what it's all about. In fact, I would be tempted not even to paint this one, or not the eyes anyway, because the eyes of that sort of eyeliner. Let's put him in front. We'll see if it will get the balance first with that eyeliner. In fact, let me just hold him with the eyeliner. Just look absolutely fantastic. Look at that. That is an awesome looking figure. Another great release from Jazwares. They are really knocking out the park with some of these Fortnite figures, I have to say. You don't have to buy them because you like the game. I've never played a game in my life. You don't have to like them because you don't have to like all the figure, but there's normally one good part on each figure. And because you can pick them up relatively cheap, particularly in the sales or loose on eBay, particularly here in China on Taobao, I think they're worth getting for the parts because I got these for the heads. Well worth looking out for this in the future. Please subscribe and click on the notification icon to up-to-date latest news, reviews, etc. I'll be back soon with more awesome Asteroid video reviews for you guys. Stay happy, keep collecting. Bye-bye.